by Srila Prabhupada. The living entities are parts and parcels of the Lord. There are two varieties. They are of two varieties, namely Nitya Mukta and Nitya Baddha. The Nitya Muktas are eternally liberated souls, and they are eternally engaged in the reciprocation of transcendental loving service with the Lord in His eternal abode beyond the manifested mundane creations. But the Nitya Baddha, or eternally conditioned souls, are entrusted to His external energy Maya for rectification of their rebellious attitude toward the Supreme Father. Nitya Baddhas are eternally forgetful of their relation with the Lord as parts and parcels. They are bewildered by the illusory energy as products of matter, and thus they are very busy in making plans in the material world for becoming happy. They go on merrily with plans, but by the will of the Lord, both the plan makers and the plans are annihilated at the end of a certain period, as above mentioned. This is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita as follows: O son of Kunti, at the end of the millennium, all the living entities merge into my nature, and again when the time of creation is ripe, I begin creation by the agency of my external energy. Bhagavad Gita 9.7. The word bhuyaha indicates again and again, that is to say, the process of creation, maintenance and annihilation is going on perpetually by the external energy of the Lord. He is the cause of everything, but the living beings who are constitutionally the parts and parcels of the Lord and are forgetful of the sweet relation are given a chance again to get rid of the clutches of the external energy and to revive the living being's consciousness. The revealed scriptures are also created by the Lord. Vedic literatures are the guiding directions for the conditioned souls, so they can get free from the repetition of creation and annihilation of the material world and the material body. The Lord says in the Bhagavad Gita, this created world and material energy are under my control. Under the influence of Prakriti, automatically they are created again and again, and this is done by me through the agency of my external energy. Actually, the spiritual spark living entities have no material names or forms. But in order to fulfill their desire to lord it over the material energy of material forms and names, they are given a chance for such false enjoyment. And at the same time, they are given a chance to understand the real position through the revealed scriptures. The foolish and forgetful living being is always busy with false forms and names and false names. Modern nationalism is the culmination of such false names and false forms. Men are mad after false name and form. The form of body obtained under certain conditions is taken up as factual, and the name also taken bewilders the conditioned soul into misusing the energy in the name of so many isms. The scriptures, however, supply the clue for understanding the real position. But men are reluctant to take lessons from the scriptures created by the Lord for different places and times. For example, the Bhagavad Gita is the guiding principle for all human beings. But by the spell of material energy, they do not take care to carry out the programs of life in terms of the Bhagavad Gita. Srimad Bhagavatam is the postgraduate study of knowledge for one who has thoroughly understood the principles of the Bhagavad Gita. Unfortunately, people have no taste for them and therefore they are under the clutches of Maya for repetition of birth and death. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. This chapter is entitled Departure of Lord Krishna for Dwaraka. Krishna had come to Hastinapura specifically for enthroning Yudhishthira as the emperor of the world, specifically for empowering or enthroning his devotee. Now Yudhishthira Maharaj has been enthroned. He is ruling very nicely, exactly according to the directions given by Bhishma and under the guidance of Krishna. So after Lord Krishna's work is over, now he is leaving for Dwaraka, his own kingdom. This chapter particularly highlights how Krishna's devotees are so much attached to him. They have a very intimate relationship with Krishna, and their attachment is so much strong that they cannot bear separation even for one moment. And such a attachment is not happening simply by any physical contact. This particular verse is one of a series of verses in which there is a talk between some ladies of Hastinapura. They are described in 2 verses before, the 20th verse. They are absorbed in the thought of the transcendental qualities of Lord Krishna. And they are all assembled on the roofs of all the houses of Hastinapura. This is the Vedic culture, that there is no free mixing of men and women. It is because there is a spiritual purpose. Free mixing is not very helpful for spiritual advancement. Nowadays we can see a lot of free mixing between men and women, but that is not very conducive for spiritual progress. So because in the Vedic culture everyone was interested in spiritual advancement, so they followed certain principles, like one of them being there is no free mixing between men and women. But all of them want to actually bid farewell to Krishna. The common point for everyone's attachment and affection is Krishna. Men are attached to Krishna, women are also attached to Krishna. Everyone is attached to Krishna. So everyone wants to bid farewell. But still, the men are close to Krishna in physical proximity, and the women are going on the rooftop, and from there they are bidding farewell to Krishna. So they are talking amongst themselves. So what is the kind of talk among them? The verse we just recited clearly indicates that these women who are devotees, always absorbed in thoughts of Krishna, they have very good knowledge of Krishna. Their knowledge of Krishna is much more profound than today's big so-called Vedic scholars. The problem is anybody who has any knowledge but does not have devotion to Krishna, their knowledge is useless. Any knowledge without devotion to Krishna is useless. Such knowledge will not save one from getting out of the cycle of birth and death. The greatest impersonalist, Shankaracharya, he says this: Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Moodhamate. He is addressing those people who don't take up the process of bhakti, who don't render devotional service to Govinda, Krishna, who don't perform any kirtan, any devotional service to Krishna. Such people, he calls them Moodhamate, foolish people. Foolish people. Krishna also uses this word Moodha in the Bhagavad Gita in quite a few places. Krishna describes those who don't surrender to him as Moodha. Namam dushkritino Moodha prapadyante. So those who don't render devotional service to Krishna, those who don't worship Krishna, those who don't glorify Krishna, they are Moodhas. And for such Moodhas, Shankaracharya's advice is that you better take up devotional service to Krishna. Begin, at least better late than never. And he says, Shankaracharya further says, Samprapte sannihite kale. Foolish people should particularly remember that if you don't take up bhakti to Govinda, devotional service to Govinda, then when death comes, Kala means death in this case, in this instance. When death comes, that time, nahi rakshati dukrunkarane. Even if one is a very big scholar in Sanskrit grammar, even a big scholar in Vedas, Vedic scholar, that will not protect you, that will not save you from death. That will not help you at the time of death. nahi nahi rakshati. It will not help you. Certainly it will be not helpful for you. At the time of death, all your learning, if it has not resulted in your taking up devotional service to Krishna. And the example of great devotees who may be even ordinary housewives, because they are devotees, they have attachment for Krishna, so their common talk is full of great realizations given in the Vedic literature. Now, hear their words. What are they telling? First of all, they are recognizing Krishna as the personality of Godhead. This is evident in the previous words. Savai kilayam purusha puratano ya eka asid avivesha atmani. So here is Krishna, who is the original personality of Godhead. He is not an ordinary person. He is not a politician. So that personality of Godhead, Saha Eva Bhuyaha, again desiring to give names and forms to his parts and parcels, the living entities. So these ladies of Hastinapura, they are fully aware of Krishna's position, the Supreme Lord's position. How are they aware? Did they go to some Vedanta philosophy class? No, that's not the way. It is by their devotional service. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam. Those who are constantly engaged in loving devotional service to Krishna. To such people, Krishna says, Dadami buddhi yogam tam. And to such people, I give the intelligence, I give the knowledge. What kind of knowledge? Yenamam upayantite, by which they can come to me. Such knowledge, Krishna says, he gives. So such knowledge includes knowledge about who is Krishna, what is Krishna's nature, what kind of a personality is Krishna, what is the nature of his kingdom, of the spiritual world where he lives, everything. How to go to the spiritual world, everything Krishna will reveal. All kinds of this kind of knowledge Krishna will give. So, bhakti is the way for getting the particular knowledge about Krishna. In the Bhagavad Gita, again Krishna says, Bhaktya mam abhijanati. Only by bhakti you can know Krishna properly. Yavanyacha asmi tattvataha. If you want to know Krishna in truth, if you read some ordinary person describing Krishna, they say he is some great politician. This is not proper understanding of Krishna. This type of understanding is useless. It can't save you from death. If you want to be saved from death, then you should know Krishna as the original personality of Godhead. And that can be known only from devotees of Krishna. Only from devotees. So you have to hear from the devotees. Or you have to read books written by devotees. Or you have to associate with devotees. Then only you can know Krishna. So what are these ladies of Hastinapura telling? They are telling that Krishna has got his external energy called Maya. That is this material world or material energy. This energy is specifically meant for a particular purpose. What is that purpose? That some living entities, they are very rebellious. They are against Krishna. So such living entities are placed in this material energy, in the material world, by Krishna. And when such living entities are placed in this material world, then they are given a material body with a specific material name, Nama Rupa. And such material name and material body are not the original body or name of the living entities. Originally we are Anama Rupa. Anama means without any material name and without any material body or material form. So whatever name and form we have now, all of us, is given by some higher arrangement of the Supreme Lord. That arrangement also is being explained here. That material nature is empowered to recreate again and again and again. This creation takes place, and then there is maintenance, and then there is destruction. Again and again this happens. So what is the purpose of this creation? This is a big mystery. Why creation takes place? So that mystery is explained in this verse. That this creation is a chance for all of us to realize who is Krishna, what is our relationship with Krishna. What kind of relationship? The relationship of love. We belong to Krishna. We don't belong to this material world. The creation is a chance for us to realize this, to understand this, and to revive our lost relationship with Krishna. This revival is how to revive this lost relationship is explained in Shastra, Vedic scriptures. All the Vedic scriptures are describing how to revive this lost relationship. But among all the Vedic processes, which are generally very difficult or are very slow, gradual, you can only make gradual progress in your attempt to revive your lost relationship with Krishna through so many different Vedic processes. But one process, the process of bhakti, is very, very powerful. And even among the different methods of bhakti, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching us the method of hearing and chanting the holy name of Krishna is most effective, is most powerful, is specially recommended. And this is followed by all the great devotees of Krishna. They are absorbed in the thought of Krishna. They are glorifying, or they are hearing the glories of Krishna always, constantly. So, the beginning of bhakti or such hearing and chanting the glories begins with hearing and chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Simply by hearing and chanting this Hare Krishna mantra, our devotion which is in the heart, that devotion is gradually awakened. Actually, it is immediately awakened, not gradually. But for us who are completely immersed in so many false names and false forms, for us to come out of such material names and forms. What are these false names and forms? Just like, I think I am this body. So based on my identifying with this body is a material body. Body means, at least in human society, I take birth in a certain family. So then immediately I identify so and so is my father, so and so is my mother, my brother, my sister, whoever. My relatives, my friends, my neighbors, my boss, my acquaintance, my business colleagues or business partners, a huge network of names and forms. And not only people, we also identify my house, my car, my mobile phone, all names and forms, everything. Neither the people whom we identify as ours are that name and form, material name and form, nor are these objects, all our possessions, are really eternal or permanent objects. They are all subject to destruction. All are subject to destruction. So life after life, simply identifying with the body and bodily connections. See what we are doing? Every life we are doing the same thing. I am this body, whichever body we are inhabiting, and then the bodily connections are mine, aham mama. This is called ahankara, false ego. And this is false. Neither I am the body, nor the bodily connections are mine. Because everything will be destroyed. Everything will be finished. And what happens after everything is finished? I, the spirit soul, the Atma, the real person, I will remain. I will lose all my body at the time of death. I lose my body. And all my possessions are also, I have to leave behind. If they are not destroyed before I die, I have to leave behind. And then I get another body. I get another body. In that new body, again I begin to identify somebody else as my father, my mother, some other objects as mine, and this goes on. This goes on perpetually. This can go on again and again, because Krishna creates, maintains, destroys again and again and again and again and again. Whereas in the spiritual world, there is no material name, material form. There is the real form. The real form. That is our original spiritual form, spiritual body. There is real relationship with Krishna. And through Krishna we have relationship with everyone else. Because everyone is related to Krishna, therefore we have relationship with Krishna and everyone else. And those relationships and that body is permanent, eternal. And that body is full of knowledge, enlightenment. There is no ignorance. Spiritual world means no ignorance, no death, no old age, no disease. So Krishna is inviting in the Bhagavad Gita and all the scriptures. Krishna is inviting, please come to me. Either we don't take Krishna's instructions seriously, or we'll tell Krishna, wait. I've got so many business here. I'll finish all this and then I will come. But our business never gets over. Endlessly we are busy. As Prabhupada says in the purport, bewildered by the illusory energy, people are generally busy with making plans in the material world for becoming happy. This is one of the things of this material world. Always everybody is seeking happiness, looking for happiness, making plans for becoming happy. But we should know that my original position is always to be naturally happy. Who can be naturally happy always? One who is situated in love of God. One who is situated in relationship, loving relationship with Krishna, is always happy, very naturally. So, having forgotten Krishna, then we have to seek happiness. We have to look for happiness. We have to work for happiness. We have to search for happiness. And after we get some so-called happiness in this world, it will not last. What is happiness in this material world called? Chapala Sukha. Sukha means happiness. Chapala Sukha means it is there for a very short time. It doesn't last. It is momentary contact, sparsha, matra sparsha or samsparsha. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna describes yehi samsparshaja bhoga. Bhoga means enjoyment, material enjoyment. Material enjoyment is the senses coming in contact with sense objects. Like using these eyes, we can see some forms. So we want to see something beautiful for our enjoyment, for our happiness. Or we want to see something we like. Something we like to see. And then we have some things which we don't like to see also. So many things we have in our mind, I don't like to see. Or some people or some things we consider ugly, I don't want to see. So we have a whole list of I like, I don't like. I want to see, I don't want to see. And that's true for even hearing. That's true for smelling. That's true for touching. That's true for tasting. Everything. This is described by Krishna as Ichha Dvesha. When we are born, Sarge Yanti. When we are taking birth, we are born with this duality of desire and hate. Ichha Dvesha. By birth itself, all of us, every one of us, we have one list of things for which we have ichha. We have desire or we like, we want. And another list, dvesha, I don't like, I hate, I don't want. And this is called dvandva. Ichha dvesha samuthena dvandva mohena. Samuthena means at the same time, I want this, I don't want that. Actually, we have nothing to do with any of these material likes and dislikes. We have nothing to do. We are spirit soul. We are Atma. Atma has nothing to do with matter, material likes, material dislikes, nothing. No relation. No connection. But foolishly, we are hoping, if I get what I like, if I can avoid what I don't like, I'll be happy. This is our hope. But this duality, dvandva, gives rise to moha, illusion. Ichha dvesha samuthena dvandva mohena bharata. Sarva bhutani, all living entities, sammoham, are completely bewildered by such illusion of duality due to desire and hate. And this desire and hate is there by birth. Sarva bhutani sammoham sarge yanti. Every time we take birth, we have some desire and some hate. Some ichha and some dvesha. This is simply illusion, bewilderment due to illusion. Illusion means it's simply some creation of this maya, temporary creation of maya, the illusory energy, material energy. So you become wise when you hear from the Shastra, when you learn from the Bhagavad Gita What is the truth? What is the reality of this world? Bhagavad Gita says, Yehi samsparshaja bhoga dukkha yonaya evate. It simply is a source of dukkha, that's all. This sense contact, this ichcha and dvesha by which you are searching for happiness is simply giving you dukkha. But under illusion, sometimes dukkha also, you think it is sukha. Dukkha also, sometimes we think it is sukha. Just like somebody is smoking. Actually, what is the smoking? He is inhaling some smoke, tobacco smoke. And that tobacco smoke gives some sensation within the mouth or within the throat. And that sensation, actually, it is burning. It is burning. And it is very, very pungent, obnoxious. It's horrible. But under some illusion that it is enjoyable, a person gets accustomed based on his mind to think, so nice. Foolish fellow, he is burning his throat, he is tasting something horribly bitter, but he is thinking nice because of the mind. This is called illusion. Like one cigarette brand, I don't know whether it is there now, when Prabhupada had gone to America, this brand was being advertised a lot. Cool. Cigarette. They had to burn the cigarette and inhale that smoke, and it is cool. How can cigarette be smoke, which is hot, burning, can be cool? So this is called Maya. This is illusion. So all such sense contact, material sense contact, is illusory happiness. Because really it is dukkha, but the dukkha sometimes, because of the mental concoction, it is thought of as sukha. All intoxicants are like that. All intoxicants. They are really source of dukkha, but people think sukha. So if you take knowledge from the Shastra, you understand the truth, tattva. What is the truth about this happiness, material happiness? You will understand it is temporary, momentary, it is really leading to dukkha, it is always giving trouble, it is illusory. All this you will understand if you hear from the Bhagavad Gita in the association of devotees. Sangha, Sadhu Sangha, Vaishnava Sangha. Then you can actually come out of this illusion and actually seek Krishna instead of seeking this happiness, working for earning money, buying so many different material things, trying to establish so many material relationships. Instead of that, you seek Krishna, beginning with chanting, hearing and chanting his name, Hare Krishna. And then you hear about Krishna, the wonderful qualities of Krishna, the wonderful nature of Krishna, and you begin to get attracted to Krishna. Krishna means all attractive, supremely attractive. He is supremely beautiful, supremely knowledgeable, supremely wealthy, supremely compassionate. Supremely compassionate. Karuna Sindhu. There are so many kind people in this world that you may know of. But nobody can be more kind, more compassionate than Krishna. So seek out that person, Krishna. So you hear about Krishna, you chant Krishna's name, you worship Krishna, think of Krishna. To think of Krishna, you have to learn about Krishna. You have to hear about Krishna. Then you become attracted to Krishna. Once you are attracted to Krishna, then your life is successful. That attraction is awakened in the association of devotees. Especially devotees who already are attracted by Krishna and are always talking about Krishna, like these ladies of Hastinapura. All such devotees are described in the Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam means describing Bhagavata, Bhagavatas. Those devotees who are fixed up, completely fixed up in attraction of Krishna, love of Krishna, in Krishna bhakti, they are all fixed up. Hear from them about Krishna, then you also become attracted to Krishna. Then your life is successful. Then you don't take birth again in this world. At the end of this life, you go to Krishna's kingdom. You don't take birth again here in this world, which is constantly created, maintained, destroyed. Nothing is permanent, everything is illusory. All material names and forms are illusory. You don't again take a material illusory form, illusory name, no. So that is being said here. Don't accept this illusory name and form again and again. Get out of this. Come out of this by getting attracted to Krishna, who is supremely attractive. But this attraction for Krishna is only available in association of devotees who are attracted to Krishna, who are attached to Krishna, who are Krishna conscious. Okay, I'll stop here. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.